Question both for Graham and Bobby. Graham, I know you could tell that you were pretty frustrated with the car yesterday and just not maybe being able to get the speed or the handle that you were wanting out of it. Where would you guys say you are in terms of confidence of being able to get through tomorrow stress free compared to where the team has been these last couple of years?
Well, first off, tomorrow's never stress free. I don't care what position you're in. Tomorrow is an intense day, period. Um, I'm not so worried about speed. I think for me, it's all about balance. I've struggled with the rear of the car kind of from the get-go. I've been quite neutral compared to, my teammates, even with the same setups. You know, and that's what's frustrating a little bit is just understanding why. We're running in essence. I ran, I think, the same exact car pretty much as Dev yesterday, and at one point had like 15 degrees less steering angle at the apexes than he did, and that's a lot. So it's trying to understand why, I think is the question. But as far as speed, like I think we'll be okay. I mean, I saw a lot of guys late in the day, happy hour, go out, do Q sims. A lot were slower than us. Some couple were quicker, the guys that you would expect. But I think had we run at 5 o'clock, we would have been quicker. The track's just purely better at that time. So I'm not by any means in a sort of panic mode in that regard. We'll see what today brings too. I know that we've been fairly conservative on some things, and today's a new day. So I'm eager to get out there. I'm eager for all of us, all four of us, to get out there to understand where we're at. But I feel good in the signs that that we see. Certainly for Dev, has a super fast car. So I think things are looking really positive for him. Louis and I are about the same, I think. And we'll find out today with Taku when we're all on the same engine spec to see what we get. So there's no reason to be in a panic yet. I think Twitter likes to panic about everything all the time. Leave that to us. We'll figure it out tomorrow and see if if we've got a problem or we're good.
Bobby, how are you feeling going into this weekend?
Well, I have to say, I have tremendous confidence in this team. We have Todd Malloy leading our engineers. He's a two-time 500 winner, lead engineer winner. Weldon, and can't remember who the other fellow that they won with. But anyway, Todd's a sharp guy. We've got a lot of, good people. Yves Turon, who's Graham's engineer, he's been in IndyCar racing for quite a while. I mean, we have some real experience in the team this year that we didn't have last year, or maybe even last 2 years. So I sat down with them earlier, and they led me through, the whys and the wherefores and what we're going to do and plan. So, and I have great confidence in that. I'm pretty excited about it. So I'm not worried. And I think a lot of it is just, for us, obviously, for guys like Penske and Andretti, they were, or Ganassi, I should say, they did the development on the hybrid units. So they have a lot more time experience with those, and the rest of us, we probably had some of the least amount of time of any of the teams, ourselves and I think Dale Coyne maybe, right? And everybody else had more. So it's catch up. We did have a good spring test here, the open test. So, I think we have a lot of good insight into where we want to be, need to be, and can be. So I'm not worried about it at all. And I'm looking forward to today as well. And, having four good cars, four good drivers, that generates a lot of information. And, I think we have the ability to take advantage of that. So I'm in a good spot.
And Graham, you were saying yesterday in the broadcast that you weren't going to lay it on the line yesterday, but you're willing to lay everything on the line on Saturday. Just what are you going through in the car on Saturday on the Razor?
There's a time and a place, to do it. And obviously, yesterday, just when you get a big wiggle or you've got something, for me at least, there's no reason to just stay out there and pound around. Typically, whatever your balance is on lap one, it kind of exaggerates as the run goes on. So, that's all it was really about. But no, I mean, today, tomorrow in particular, you've got to do what it takes, and we'll be ready for that. So, like I said too, I think, we've worked really hard as a group to continue to get better. Our feel of the car is the same, which has been, really particularly a positive for us that we can work towards a common goal. I may be more sensitive to the rear than most for sure. But the reality is that we've got to continue to work to make the cars better. And I think we can do that.
And how many game plans do you have with the hybrid for qualifying? I mean, we talked the other day, you can use it in a headwind, you can use it in a tailwind if it's coming out of a different direction.
Well, this is what Dad was referencing a second ago, is just the knowledge of the hybrid is massive. And we actually, all of us drivers and engineers, have been watching almost everybody on their in cars to understand what they're doing, because they're doing things that we didn't really think possible, to be honest. Like, all of the Chevys seem to be regenerating during, like, gearing short and regenerating at peak speed on the back straight. Well, we can obviously change how much regeneration there is. And that's where Dad's talking about the knowledge. Like, when we started with this thing, we didn't know how to do any of that. And really, it hasn't been until like the last race or two that we've started to play with, regen maps and how much regen, because, for us, if you just pull the paddle, like, it would really decelerate the car. Well, obviously what we're seeing is that they're not having that. So they're clearly messing with the mapping to reduce the regeneration amount, and therefore they're able to use it more throughout the run. There's the ability to, just how you use the deploy, when you use the deploy, where you use the deploy. Like, there is so much more that goes into this than I think people, realize or recognize, that even today, I'm pretty sure all of us will be trying something different to learn, to try to see what is best for us. So it's an interesting thing. I mean, the hybrid, it is quite powerful here on a single lap. If you utilize it correctly, it does make a hell of a difference in lap time, or lap speed. So there's a lot to be learned there.
Kevin?
Got one for you, Louis. You've always looked comfortable as you've been advancing through the ranks in the recent years. You still look comfortable, even though you're here in the midst of the Indy 500. Do you feel comfortable on the inside? And how has the experience of this team prepared you for this?
To be honest with you, I don't think you're ever comfortable going 220 mile an hour. But yeah, I think so far, really enjoyed my past 5 races. Have we did 5 races? Yeah.
Yep.
5 races. Sorry. A bit of a blur now. But I've really enjoyed the last 5 races. I think, as I've said before, it's massive credit to everyone at Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing. They've had rookies in the past and they know how to deal with rookies and what's best for me, right? So it's very much about coming into this championship with the mindset of, I'm here to learn and I need to listen to Graham and especially to Kuma, at the 500 as well. So yeah, I'm blessed to have a great group around me to be able to help me with that, right? So I think if you were to be thrown into a top team, I know I've seen a lot of good drivers from Indy Next being thrown into top teams and completely sink because those teams aren't used to having those rookies, and I don't think they really know how to support those new drivers. So I've really enjoyed the last 5 races, and I think we're just now beginning to show our strengths. I think we had some issues in the first kind of 3 or 4 in the races. But yeah, after the race at the Sonsio Grand Prix with our qualifying result and a pretty strong race, definitely had some left on the table in the race. But yeah, I'm still learning, but definitely enjoying it.
Steven Stump of FrontStretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.